We saw him as a backup quarterback, but he catches his first touchdown pass, blown coverage by the Wildcats, and a perfect throw there. There was nobody within 10 yards.
And a good evening and welcome to all of you. Thanks for sticking around with us. Do apologize for the lack of audio and somewhat in and out video through the first couple of drives of this game. But we are here on the campus of South Warren High School for a matchup between two reigning state champions, the reigning 4A champs, the Wildcats of Franklin Simpson High, and the host Spartans of South Warren, nursing a 17-game win streak, and the reigning 5A state champions. And it is now 7-7, following the made extra point from Elder Dervisevich of South Warren, as both of these teams convert their opening drives into touchdowns. My name is Brett Williams. I'm glad to have you along here on the Sporting Times Broadcast Network. Again, appreciate your patience through the early part of this game, but this was one of the games that a lot of fans on both sides circled in the preseason. Again, the reigning state champions, both teams that have set up quite the traditions of success lately. Again, South Warren, two-time state champions in the last several years. Franklin Simpson, 2 times back-to-back the last 2 years. Both teams lost a lot of key pieces from last year, but both were expected to reload and refire out of the gate. South Warren has done that. Franklin Simpson, not so much. The Spartans are 2-0. One game in which it was close for a while, then they took control at the end. The other game in which they dominated from the start. Franklin Simpson, on the other hand, a couple of home games, neither went in the Wildcats' favor, and now they find themselves trying to dig out of a hole as they come up the road from Franklin over here to the southern end of Bowling Green down on Nashville Road, where they find themselves at the South Warren Athletic Complex this evening. But the Wildcats executed an excellent drive to start off, capped off by a couple-yard running touchdown from the outside. And again, my apologies. I was looking down trying to handle some of the tech issues that we've had going on tonight. Did not see who, in fact, put it in the end zone, but it was on the ground from Franklin Simpson, and as soon as I can identify the score of that touchdown, I will let you know. Meanwhile, on the last drive, South Warren immediately answered a long pass complete from Caden Veltkamp to Mason Willingham, put the Spartans in the end zone. Both kickers made the extra point, and thus we are 7-7 here with 6 minutes and 6 seconds remaining in quarter number 1. The first road game of the season for Franklin Simpson, the first home game for South Warren. The Spartans played each of their first 2 games of the year at Houchin Smith Stadium on the campus of Western Kentucky University, which is just up the road, of course. So essentially they've been playing at home, albeit not on their home turf, through the first 3 weeks of the season. So Franklin Simpson now sitting 2nd and 8 at their own 22-yard line as Luke Richardson gets up under center. Handoff around the left side to Tedrick Partinger. And he'll fight his way to the 25. About a 3-yard gain brings up 3rd down and 5 for the Wildcats. Of course, Franklin Simpson always has been a team heavily reliant on the run. And their stats thus far have really borne that out. As last week they rushed for 220 on the ground, just 90 through the air, and still was not enough to take down Meade County as the Green Wave came into Franklin and upset the Wildcats on home turf and left them kind of reeling in the coming days. They've been looking for answers, looking for leaders. Who was going to step up coming into a very tough environment against an incredibly difficult opponent tonight in South Warren as we have a penalty marker down. But the Wildcats had a great answer to start this game. And so they find themselves even at 7, just under 5 to go in the first. And this is offside against South Warren. And let's take a look at the sticks. Might move it to an automatic first down, and it is. Never know if it's just slightly behind the hash mark, and the 5-yard penalty might turn a 3rd and 5, what really is 3rd and 5 inches, into a 3rd and inches. It was not the case this time, and it does become a fresh set of downs for Franklin Simpson and a chance perhaps for the Wildcats to not really look deep. They don't do that coming out of the wing tee, but who knows? Maybe get Leandre Stutzman out of that wing back position and do something interesting here. Try to get some chunk yardage. Instead, he takes up the field as they hand it off to Partinger. Comes around to the right side. Turns up the field, got a couple of yards out of that. My correction, Omar Harrison on the carry for Franklin Simpson. Harrison with his 9th carry of the season. And you'll see Partinger, you'll see Harrison, you'll see Malik Carter, Chase Gooch in the backfield. And you may actually see some runs from Luke Richardson. He had started to use his feet a little bit more last week. Has had 10 carries, 65 yards, and a score on the ground this season working out of the backfield. Takes the snap here, double play fake. Now he's going to look up the field, open down the right side. It is caught at the South Warren 40, fighting his way inside the 30, and down the way he goes. What a play for Leandre Stutzman and Franklin Simpson. So I was just one play too early on what I suggested Franklin Simpson might do. I make one running play, and then all of a sudden, the double fake play action play as Richardson rolls to his right and hits Stutzman for a big-time gain inside the South Warren 30 to the 27-yard lines. 1st and 10 from there. In motion, handoff straight away, fighting his way forward. Malik Carter with a burst. That's a solid gain on 1st down, just shy of the 20 to the 21. That's good for 8 yards, 2nd and short coming up for the Wildcats. And that's certainly what you can do when you've got your opponent off balance a little bit. Again, just don't see the Wildcats tend to air it out as they just did, but all of a sudden they do. South Warren has to be kept honest now. They can go right back to the power running game and get a big play on 1st down. Handoff winging coming around the right side. There's Partinger trying to get some space. Breaks the tackle. He's got the 1st down, and Morris. He's still in bounds. He is, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Franklin Simpson. How about that? Tedrick Partinger almost wrapped up in the backfield. Somehow found his way to shake the tackle and keep his feet to the end zone. And how about this? 3 touchdowns. We do have a penalty marker down. Franklin Simpson still sending its PAT unit onto the field, and it is a personal foul against South Warren. So the touchdown stands. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns to open this game, 2 for the visiting Franklin Simpson Wildcats. Doug Preston, head coach of Franklin Simpson in his 8th year, coming out to say he will take that penalty on the kickoff. And now as for the kick for the extra point, Cole Hollingsworth out. 6 for 6 this year, including the one he hit earlier in this game. Nearly automatic, was 59 of 63 last year. That's a booming PAT, and it splits the uprights. 14-7, Franklin Simpson on top. We will take this moment to thank one of our sponsors, Mid-South Lumber and Supply, professional building materials and services. We'll have everything you'll need for any project and size. Windows, doors, paint and design center, lumber, roofing, shingles, molding and trim insulation, siding and gutters, electrical and plumbing, providing superior service and quality products since 1962, delivered when and where you need them. Mid-South Lumber and Supply. We're more than wood. And as Seven Nation Army plays at the home of the Spartans, their fans looking for some answers. The Spartans did answer the first Franklin Simpson touchdown with one of their own shortly thereafter, but I don't think if you had talked to some folks here that they would have been expecting to be down 14-7 so early, not with the way that Franklin Simpson had been playing as of late. And the loss in week 1 to Greenwood, and then the loss to Meade County, neither expected. But the Wildcats are looking back to their old ways here tonight. And by far their stiffest test thus far. 2 minutes and 37 seconds remaining in quarter number 1. And now South Warren's offense goes back to work behind sophomore Caden Veltkamp. So it's a duel of sophomores calling the shots tonight for these sides. Veldkamp 7 touchdowns, no picks coming into tonight, so you can make it 8 touchdowns now on the season. 351 yards coming in, was 26 of 41. And he had some serious shoes to fill. And the likes of Gavin Spurrier graduated and now on to Durham, North Carolina to play for Duke. Coming out in the shotgun, gives it to the tailback who fights his way a couple yards straight through the middle. Gain of a few on first down. Brings up 2nd down and 6. And now the Spartans stack to the left. Go with the handoff once again. Across the 25, up to about the 27-yard line. That's Kobe Martin once again on the carry. Martin had a standout performance. And his first game as the primary back, season opener against Butler over at WKU. Ran 27 times for 179 yards. And a touchdown to boot. Not relied on nearly as much last week. Only 8 carries, 28 yards against Warren East. Didn't necessarily need him. Flag down on 3rd and 3. And this might move South Warren back a little bit further. Yes, it is a false start. Bring up 3rd and 8 as they erase the last carry from Kobe Martin. South Warren had a little bit of trouble getting out of the gates against Warren East last week. Trailed 6-3 after the first quarter. Head coach Brandon Smith wasn't too happy about the way they came out in that game, but they took over in a hurry. 41 points in the second quarter, put that game on ice without too much trouble thereafter. Play action on 3rd down, working to the near sideline. It is complete, and getting it past the sticks for a South Warren first down. Chidi Afam with the reception. Take that back. Avron Bell rolled out of the backfield and made that happen. And they're going to spot this at the 30. So South Warren converts a 3rd down. Once again, Veldkamp in the shotgun. He's got Martin to his left. Couple steps back, a lot of time, a lot of space, complete. Up to the 45-yard line for another South Warren first down, gain of 15. On the catch by Carson Hickman. That's his 2nd catch of the season. Had a 22-yarder last week against Warren East, and now that 15-yarder. Final 38 seconds and counting here of the first quarter. Every drive we've seen tonight has resulted in a touchdown. 2 for the visitors. Once again, South Warren going to the air. This one's caught at the 49, pushing into Franklin Simpson territory. Up to about the 48-yard line. That is Hickman once again. As Veldkamp targets the senior for the 2nd straight time. And they're going to try to get off one more play here. Final 5 seconds of the first. As they set up 2nd down and 2 from the Franklin 48. But they don't get it off just in time, and that'll do it for quarter number 1. Awesome action on both sides of the field. Offense is humming for both Franklin Simpson and South Warren. It's 14-7 Wildcats. And we will be back in just a moment here on the Sporting Times Broadcast Network. Welcome back to the South Warren Athletic Complex. Brett Williams here with you as we begin the second quarter between South Warren and Franklin Simpson. A straightaway run with a whole lot of daylight for South Warren. All the way, Kobe Martin untouched to the house. Touchdown, South Warren. Mercy, now that's how you start the second quarter. I'll remind you what I said just a few moments ago if you're just joining us. Last week against Warren East, South Warren trailed 6-3 at the end of the first quarter and then put up 41 points in the second 12 minutes. That's how you do it if you want to start doing that again. Kobe Martin, 48 yards for the score. And now here's Dervisevich. That was nearly blocked, but he got it up and through. And we're tied once more. 4 drives, 4 touchdowns here between Franklin Simpson and South Warren. Red Seas parted for Kobe Martin on that one. And we're tied up just 8 seconds into the second. Wendy's is a proud sponsor of high school athletes. For more information about the Wendy's High School Heisman program, go to wendyshighschoolheisman.com and check out the class of 2018. Good luck to all area teams, and don't forget to stop by Wendy's of Bowling Green, Franklin, and Glasgow to enjoy a filling 4-for-4 dollar meal deal. Last couple of touchdowns we've seen tonight, both set up by some key third down conversions. South Warren able to get past a 3rd and 8 back deep in its own territory that was set up by a false start against the Spartans. Averin Bell on the catch, tailing to the sideline. And eventually it turned into a big play, the second 40-plus yard touchdown of the night. In fact, the first one of the night for South Warren came from about 60 yards out as Veldkamp connected with Mason Willingham. Kobe Martin on the last one from 48 yards out. Franklin Simpson, by the way, we mentioned earlier that we're unable to get the first touchdown on the air. It was a quarterback sneak from 3 yards out from Luke Richardson, as he's now got 2 touchdowns on the ground this season. And it was Tedrick Partinger who got out to the left side from 13 yards out for the second Franklin Simpson score. So 11:52 to go in the second quarter. Fresh start to this game. And the Wildcats offense back to work. This first play won't get off before the flag flies. That's a delay of game. Cats didn't get it off in time, period. Now for Franklin Simpson, there's a little bit of revenge perhaps in the air tonight as the Wildcats went 14-1 last year en route to the state title in 4A. Their only loss came against these Spartans. Handoff on the sweep, breaking some tackles and fighting for yet another positive gain on first down. That's to Kyrus Burr. That game last year took place down in Franklin. 36-14, South Warren won en route to an undefeated season on their end. Spartans have won 17 in a row dating back to November of 2017 in the state semifinals. Stutzman working from right to left, and another flag. We got another illegal procedure against Franklin Simpson, so the Wildcats getting in their own way here to start their third drive of the night. Of course, Franklin Simpson not only won the 4A title last year, they did so the year before also. Gone 40-5 over their last 3 seasons before this year, in which they've started an uncharacteristic 0-2. In fact, they had not lost 2 consecutive games in the same season, so not counting the final game of one season and the first of the next year, since September of 2013. Yet another program based on consistency. Richardson rolling out to his left. Doesn't seem to have anybody downfield, so he'll turn to the ground again. That was a pretty rough tackle from behind. But he got a number of yards out of that. Ethan Hildreth in there on the tackle. That was only good enough to get him close to the original line of scrimmage, but nothing more. It'll be a 3rd down and 11 coming up here. Check that, 3rd and 12 from Franklin Simpson's own 18. And this is where they're going to miss their big backs from a year ago. You could rely on them to get some big yards even on 3rd down. Play action. Richardson leaving one for Stutzman. It is knocked away, nearly caught. And it's Connor Mason who works his way over there and knocks it away. About 2 inches from a catch from Stutzman. And the senior defensive back gets it done. So Jansen Dunn back to return this punt, first of the night for either side. As Hollingsworth gets ready to get it away for Franklin Simpson. That's a nice spin on that punt. Retreated and caught at his own 47, and Dunn's got a whole lot of space to work with. Across the 35 to the 30, cutting back to the 25, still on his feet. Gang tackled at the 20, but South Lawrence in business in the red zone to start its 3rd drive of the night. Jansen Dunn, a 33-yard return. Set up by excellent blocking in front. Could have taken a truck through that hole to the left side. Of course, Dunn, a junior who already has an offer to play at Western Kentucky. He's quick, too, as he has already got back to the original line of scrimmage, perhaps. As he's brought down by Dylan Glass. 9:24 and counting to go here in the 2nd quarter. Reigning 4A and reigning 5A state champions matching wits tonight in Bowling Green. Play action. Veldkamp just aired it too far, but I think Franklin Simpson's going to end up getting called for a pass interference here. Tomi Mustafa, the intended target. And were not for the pass interference, that would have worked out well for Franklin Simpson. But instead, South Warren's going to convert anyway, thanks to the defensive miscue. I'll spot him at the 10. After the 10-yard penalty, 1st and goal for the Spartans. They go 2 receivers to the right. Mustafa and Jason Putman out there. Now Mustafa in motion to the left. It's Kobe Martin to the left of Caden Veldkamp in the backfield. And another flag flies. The refs have not been afraid of dropping that tonight. False starts the call. And 1st and goal got that much harder. To the 15 they go. Martin once again to Veldkamp's left. And now the handoff goes to Kobe. Got nowhere. First man in, Tedrick Partinger, who already has a touchdown tonight on the offensive end. Came in from the free safety spot to make that tackle. And you were hearing right before that play a lot of chants of go Big Blue. Now that's not for the University of Kentucky, though I imagine there are plenty of UK fans in the house tonight. Well, that's for Franklin Simpson, whose Wildcats, clad in white and blue, have made a... And it's Jason Putman lined up wide on the last play. This time moves to the left and finds a whole lot of daylight. Putman, a junior, his first touchdown of the year, third of his career. And now here's Dervisevich to try to make it a 7-point game. Bit of a low snap, but he got it up. And it's 21-14 for the hosts with 8:29 to go in the second quarter. Dependable and knowledgeable agents seek customers looking for real protection and long-term relationships. Look no further. Having one special person for your car, home, and life insurance lets you get down to business with the rest of your life. We're State Farm. It's what we do, 24/7, 365. Go to a better state. Contact an agent today. Call Jonathan McDaniel at 270-842-5556 or Ginger Cleary at 270-782-7276. So we've seen 6 drives tonight, 3 per team, 5 touchdowns, 1 punt combined. South Warren's been able to find pay dirt each of their 3 times on the field. Franklin Simpson now playing for behind for the first time this evening. Let's see what response the Wildcats might have. Leo Stutzman watches that back into the end zone for a touchback. So Franklin Simpson will get started once again from the 20. This is the 5th straight season these two teams have met up in not only non-district play, but non-class play. Man, it's been a 3-1 advantage in that series for South Warren. Again, last year a 36-14 win for the Spartans down in Franklin. Only loss the Wildcats faced all year. Malik Carter in the backfield. Richardson fakes it to him and takes off himself. Richardson still working his way, turning the feet across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Gain of 11 for the quarterback. First down, Franklin Simpson. Great weapon for these Wildcats to use again, trying to do the impossible in replacing Trey Bass and Carlos McKinney out of the backfield. Bass now a Hilltopper. Carlos McKinney now playing for the University of the Cumberlands. Those two combined for 6,411 yards and 81 touchdowns over the last 2 seasons. It's running back by committee this year, and when your quarterback can help out in that regard, good things are going to happen. Pitch to the outside. That one's eaten up quickly, as Ethan Hildreth in to make the tackle for South Warren. Luke Burton also up there. And Stutzman only able to get a yard out of that. 2nd and 9 coming up. And conversely, South Warren's had its own job to do on the defensive end. Top 3 tacklers from a year ago all gone, including Jacob Lacey, the big-time recruit, now playing at Notre Dame as a defensive tackle. And off to Omar Harrison as a flag flies. Most likely a hold. He got up to the 36, would be a gain of 4, but I think this is coming back. And that is indeed the call. That'll take Franklin Simpson back into what feels like a country mile. Back to their 27. That'll be 2nd and 19, or excuse me, down to the 22-yard line. Bringing up 2nd down and 19. Again, Carter and Harrison in the backfield. Inside handoff goes to Malik Carter. And it just went nowhere fast. Pushing forward for South Warren, Jake Jackson on the play. And Luke Burton in there as well. Both of those gentlemen leading the South Warren defense in certain categories. Jackson tied for first with 4 tackles for loss, also first with 3 sacks. Burton leading in tackles overall with 12 coming into tonight. 3rd and a long 19 coming up for Franklin Simpson. Richardson will look upfield. He's got a wide open man to the left, doesn't see him, instead goes to the middle, and that gets the job done anyway. Out of the backfield, Omar Harrison's been involved in this game in more ways than one, as that picks up 21 yards on the 3rd and 19, and that's what Franklin Simpson was able to do early in this contest, converting 3rd downs, extending opportunities, and then cashing in on the back end of those possessions. 6 minutes and counting to go here in the second quarter. And the Wildcats have new life, setting up at their own 43-yard line. Handoff comes near side. Trying to spin his way through. Partinger, but just ran into a sea of black that kept on coming. Jake Jackson once again leading the way on that tackle. Chidi Afam also following on the tackle. Results in a loss of 3, 2nd and 13 coming up. Richardson looking upfield, floating it down the sideline for Stutzman. That's got to be a hold on the defense, and the flag comes from behind. Probably an unnecessary penalty by Jansen Dunn, as it appeared that Richardson had put a little too much on that pass. I'm not sure Stutzman would have had a chance to get there, but he was given no chance by the tug from behind, and that's going to turn into a 1st down for Franklin Simpson. A 15-yard penalty advanced it all the way to the South Warren 45. 5 minutes exactly remaining here in the second quarter. Fantastic first half. This is what both of these teams expected when the schedule was announced a few months ago. In motion, here comes Partinger. Instead, they go the inside handoff to the fullback, Carter. Across the 45 to the 44. Gain of 1, and a late flag flies from behind. What's this about? That was well behind the play. Let's see what the Zebras have to say about this one. That's a personal foul, and it goes against Franklin Simpson. That's a backbreaker, especially after the 15-yard penalty. Now they're going to say it's offsetting penalties. Officials still looking for some clarification even within themselves. All right. So check that. The penalty's offset. And we'll try again. 2nd and 9 from the 44 of South Warren. In motion once again, Partinger at the fake. Richardson rolls out to the right, being chased. Looks upfield. He might take this one. He's going to try to get to the 40. I think he came up about a yard short of that. But Richardson's found a lot of space to the outside. He's got some wheels. And as South Warren continues to try to flush him out of the pocket, he's found some lanes to turn potential losses into positive plays. Still going to be 3rd and relatively long here for the Wildcats as they set up at the South Warren 41 with 6 yards to gain here on 3rd down. As we approach the 4-minute mark of this first half, the 0-2 Franklin Simpson Wildcats, the 2-0 South Warren Spartans, locked in a great one here in week 3. Fake handoff to the fullback. Instead, they go to Omar Harrison, and he goes nowhere. Partinger on the carry. My apologies. And that's going to end the drive for Franklin Simpson in a bit of no man's land. Could go for this if you really wanted to. Let's see here. No, Franklin Simpson does come out with the punt. I'd say watch the fake here, though. South Warren converted a fake punt run from Elder Dervisevich back in the Butler game. Down to Cole Hollingsworth. No fake here. He lets it go. Trying to pin the Spartans deep. This one's muffed. But it looks like Jansen Dunn got on top of that back at the 10-yard line. And South Warren will start its next possession from there. So South Warren back to work. Wildcats defense has not stopped the Spartans tonight. 3 drives have all reached the end zone. Kobe Martin will start off to the left to Caden Veltkamp. It's a pass on first down, complete to the sideline. Bell trying to find his way forward with a couple of in front. And he'll get up to the 20, right to the sticks. And it'll be good for a first down, gain of 10. Veldkamp to Bell. Coming into tonight, Bell has had a breakout sophomore campaign, tied for first with 8 receptions and 2 touchdowns through the air. Also had 79 receiving yards coming in. This is a handoff, and Martin is finding his way through. Another chunk gain on first down. That's good for a first down and then some. Up to the 35. So a gain of 15 from Kobe Martin. Now set up on the left hash at the 35. 2:25 and counting here in the second quarter. Veldkamp back to the air. That's complete across the 40. Carson Hickman once again on the catch. As he's taken on a higher role in the passing game tonight. Really, Veldkamp doing a nice job spreading the wealth. Hickman, Willingham, Bell, Mustafa, Putman all getting involved here in this one. Empty backfield off to the left side. Complete again into Franklin Simpson territory and still going down the left sideline. As Mason Willingham takes this one for the gain. Willingham, the receiver of the first touchdown of the night for South Warren. Jason Putman, the second. I guess technically the third would be the more accurate way to say that. Second passing touchdown as Kobe Martin had the second strike of the night. 48 yards up the gut out of the backfield. And a timeout called by Franklin Simpson with 1:46 to go in the first half. And we'll take this moment to bring you a little McDonald's Did You Know? The Burrell journey into McDonald's began in 1974 with the opening of their first restaurant in Franklin, Kentucky. Paul Burrell, a second-generation owner-operator, began the family business with his father, Jim Burrell. From that one store, other siblings joined the business and have branched off into their own areas throughout Kentucky and Tennessee. The Burrells have always looked at their business as a people business first and a hamburger business second. The Burrells are also heavily involved in the communities where they work and live. They are proud supporters of many charities, athletic, and academic programs. Additionally, they are passionate about helping out the Nashville Ronald McDonald House, which serves as a home away from home for many families from southern Kentucky each year. Visit one of the many area McDonald's locations today. McDonald's, I'm loving it. First down for South Warren coming out of the timeout with 1:46 to go in the first half as they set up at the Franklin Simpson 43. Spartans will get the second half kickoff as well. Would love to go 2 for 1 a la Bill Belichick here. Still on his feet, but ran out of bounds. Did Jansen Dunn on that one. He gets down to the 36-yard line. Second down and 3. Once again, an empty backfield look for South Warren. Committed to the air, and why not, the way Veldkamp's been playing. And his receivers have been picking him up. Flushed out of the pocket, he'll have to throw this one away. That'll bring up third down. Again, Veldkamp had the unenviable task of trying to follow Gavin Spurrier, of course, the grandson of the head ball coach, Steve Spurrier. Played here throughout his career, over 2,700 yards, 41 touchdowns, and just 3 interceptions as a senior last year. I'll repeat, 41 touchdowns, just 3 interceptions, and you wonder why South Warren went undefeated. Had over 5,200 yards for his career here in Bowling Green. And now he finds himself in the ACC. And Caden Veldkamp finds himself back in the shotgun. Over the middle, it is caught. A little lob pass. That's good for a first down inside the 30 to the 28. As Avron Bell once again on the receiving end of it. Another first down gain, and South Warren stops the clock. 1:26 remaining in this first half. The Spartans methodical as ever, working their way down the field. Veldkamp had connected on 63% of his passes coming into this game, and although we don't have live stats going in this one, I would say that completion percentage is only going up. He has shown some excellent decision-making ability in the pocket. Able to hit, as I said, a number of different receivers here, and the Spartans have a lot of them. They have had to replace Clayton Bush. As again, this was a loaded South Warren team, to say the least, last year, offensively and defensively. Bush now on the hill playing for the Tops as a defensive back, but he led the team in receiving yards each of the last 2 years, over 1,200 yards and 18 touchdowns in that regard. So a lot of different guys having to step up, and they've all filled the task quite well. First and 10 now from the Franklin Simpson 28. Still nobody in the backfield. 3 receivers right to the left. Veldkamp looking left, and he's got a wide open man on the out route to the 20 and out of bounds at the 15. That is Mason Willingham. Third big catch of the night for him. And it looks like he came just about a yard short of the first down marker. Was at the 19, I'm sorry, not the 15, as he just got across the 20. So second down and 1. Minute 20 to go here in the first half. Spartans looking to extend this into a 2-possession game. Veldkamp had to check it down. Again, he's got a man in the flat. And it's another first down for the Spartans. That time it was Carson Hickman moving the chains. Gain of 8 yards. First and 10 from the 11. So it's that weird no man's land where it's kind of a first and goal, but not officially. Very tough to get a first down without a touchdown when you're starting out at the 11. But you never know. But another impressive drive for South Warren. Started all the way back on the Spartans' own 10-yard line. Now they're nearly on the other 10. Play fake. Veldkamp looking for it all. Just overthrown. It was Chidi Afam who he was looking for. Tedrick Partinger leading the way on the pass defense, as he's shown up offensively and defensively tonight. Got a radio broadcast crew to my right that's having to set up with some of their commentators outside the press box to get a view of the scoreboard. It's at the far right here to get that time for you. Up to the minutes, 1:08 to go in the first half as penalty marker comes down, blow this play dead. That's a false start against South Warren. Will back the Spartans up 5 yards. Only one Jumbotron here at the South Warren Athletic Complex. And it is in a very tough spot for us to see here. I've got a bit more angle than my colleagues to the right, I will say that. but I'll keep you posted. No worries at all. Once again, 1:07 remaining until halftime. South Warren trying to go up by 2 scores. They go back to a running back, and it's Kobe Martin who takes it. Twisting his way inside the 15, and that second effort earned him at least 1 extra yard. And the Spartans use another timeout. Fantastic night for football here in September. I always feel like when you pass Labor Day, that's when the fall really starts feeling like that. It's a little bit sticky tonight in Bowling Green, but nonetheless not too hot. Really feels like football. NFL, of course, kicked off last night. College football last weekend. And, again, first home game of the year for South Warren. Their fans haven't had to go too far, but they've played 2 games to start the season over at Houch and Smith on the Hill. And now they're back in their own confines and across from us. Can't really see it just on the corner that you're looking at here, but you can see all the halftime performers over there to the right side. We're going to get a treat here in a few minutes, but the exception of that one section that you're seeing on your screen to the left, everyone beyond that, there are a few empty seats. There's a whole lot of people clad in black and white. And right in front of us, the visitor side, a lot of folks in blue and white have traveled up here to support Franklin Simpson. Exactly the atmosphere you would want between 2 reigning state champions here in non-district play. 3rd down and 11 from the 12 for South Warren. Veldkamp straight away. This one is caught. Didn't quite make it to the end zone. Did he get the first down? That's going to be very close. Tomi Mustafa to the 2 or the 1. Cannot tell from this angle. Let's see. It is 4th down. And there's an injured Franklin Simpson Wildcat down right on the goal line. It is going to be 4th down and short as Tedrick Partinger, the Wildcat, down on the ground. 41 seconds remaining here in the first half. I have to imagine South Warren is going to go for this. It's 4th and 1 on the 2. So if you just need 1 yard to get a first down, you've got plenty of time to get it in the end zone. Or you can get 2 yards and save yourself that extra step. And I just can't see the Spartans settling for a field goal on a drive that has taken them 88 yards. Started back at their own 10. And there's Partinger up. Good sign. He's putting weight down on the right leg, even though he's doesn't appear to be enjoying it too much, but he'll get looked at here at the end of the first half. And indeed, the South Warren offense is on the field for 4th and 1 from the 2. Franklin Simpson has yet to stop the Spartans offense tonight. Might this be the time? Here we go. Clock is running, under 40 seconds to go in the half. Split backs. And South Warren is going to use its final timeout. Again, I imagine this will just be to take a look at what the Wildcats were bringing defensively there. See what they saw in formation. It doesn't appear they're changing units whatsoever, so the Spartans will continue to press their luck here. If they do go to the run, again, Kobe Martin's gotten 3 touchdowns on the season, 1 tonight from 48 yards straight away. He was untouched that whole way. Leonard Hopkins also has 1. He got it last week against Warren East. And then they've got the likes of Logan Crick, even Luke Burton, their starting middle linebacker, who has a rushing touchdown to his name thus far this season. Also caught one, both against Butler. That's only if they go on the ground. It is Kobe Martin to the right of Veldkamp, and it is Luke Burton to his left. Receiver Bell in motion. Do they go with a jet sweep? They do not. Veldkamp hands off to Kobe Martin, trying to work his way around the left edge, pushing his way through, and he's in. Touchdown, South Warren. So they go back to Kobe Martin, his second touchdown of the night. And the Spartans finish off an impressive 90-yard drive that milked a lot of clock in the second quarter and left Franklin Simpson with just 32 seconds to operate. Again, the Spartans will receive the second half kickoff as well. Elder Dervisevich trying to put the exclamation point on the drive. Again, a number of Wildcats in there almost blocked it. Instead, slammed into one another. Did not contact the football. 28-14, South Warren leads it here over Franklin Simpson. What a first half. And it's still not over quite yet. One last chance for the Wildcats as they'll get it back here on the kickoff to come. And that was a Toyota of Bowling Green touchdown for South Warren. Wouldn't be surprised to see a squib kick here on the kickoff. There are 32 seconds, but even though Franklin Simpson's been airing it out a little bit more tonight, not really a team that has a lot of deep plays in the playbook, so field position not the biggest deal. They do kick it deep. Stutzman, a lot of room to work with. Going laterally, though, 25, gets an edge. Flag flies from way behind the play, back at midfield, nearly standing at the Spartan head on the grass. That official threw the flag, and good arm on him, too. Got 19 yards in the air with the flag. Stutzman took that all the way back to the 40. But the Wildcats will be moving backward. Blocking the back called. Check that, a hold is called. Same result. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. And with 24 seconds left, Franklin Simpson will be instead beginning at their own 24. So let's see what the Wildcats decide to do here. Trailing by 14, biggest deficit of the night for Franklin Simpson as South Warren's rung up the last 21 points. And Doug Preston has seen enough from his offense. He wants to reset as they'll just take a knee and head off to the locker room. Franklin Simpson's fans up and applauding as well they should be. The Wildcats have not come in here playing with any sort of fear or tentativeness against the reigning 5A champions who have been on a roll. The Wildcats came to play 14-7. They led it, but South Warren's offense has been unstoppable tonight and turned its last three drives into touchdowns. 28-14, South Warren on top of Franklin Simpson as we step aside for halftime. We'll be back in a few minutes with thoughts on the first half. You are watching Southern Kentucky High School football on the Sporting Times Broadcast Network. Almost time for the second half to kick off here from the South Warren Athletic Complex down Nashville Road in Bowling Green. It's the South Warren Spartans 28, the Franklin Simpson Wildcats 14. A high-octane first half between two reigning state champions, the Spartans of Class 5A and the Wildcats of Class 4A. I'm Brett Williams. Really appreciate you coming along this evening here on the Sporting Times Broadcast Network. We saw South Warren go unbeaten as an offense in the first half of this one. 4 drives, all 4 resulted in 7 points, including the last one that milked over 5 minutes of the second quarter, 90 yards up the field. They started on a very good punt from Cole Hollingsworth, I should say, of Franklin Simpson that nearly pinned the Spartans deep. It ended up even further after Jansen Dunn muffed the punt, but Spartans went right back to work, methodically worked their way down the field. A lot of different receivers have been involved in this game so far. Carson Hickman, Mason Willingham, Avron Bell, Tomi Mustafa, Jason Putman, Chidi Afam. Caden Veltkamp has been working the entire field, and he's found 2 of those guys, Putman and Willingham, for touchdowns. Kobe Martin on the ground has gotten South Warren its other 2. Meanwhile, for Franklin Simpson, the Wildcats started off in a similar fashion. They got touchdowns on their first 2 drives. The first was a 2-yard scamper from quarterback Luke Richardson. The second, a 21-yard run around the left side from tailback Tedrick Partinger. Either way, the Wildcats, who again really struggled through the first 2 weeks of the season, not massive losses. Last week just 26-21, but both teams that the Wildcats beat last year, teams in some cases that they blew out last year, who didn't have great seasons, and the Wildcats expected to contend. Preseason picked second in Class 4A again. Not the start that they wanted to have to the season, going 0-2 and coming in to face a juggernaut here in South Warren. But the Wildcats fans showed up. Their cheerleaders are here. The team came ready to go, and they were up 14-7 in this one. The offense has still moved the ball pretty well ever since then. A couple of drives ended up stalling somewhere around the South Warren 40, resulted in punts. And again, the problem for Franklin Simpson has been that its defense has simply not been able to get off the field. South Warren, no matter where it has started on the field, has moved it all the way and picked up 7 points at the end of each of the first 4 drives tonight. And the Spartans not only milked that clock in the second quarter to basically go into halftime with the score, they also did not get the opening kick, so they're going to get this one and have a chance to go 2 for 1. This could be a drive that makes or breaks this game for Franklin Simpson if their defense can finally pick up a stop, as you're seeing head coach Doug Preston getting in some final words with his guys, trying to fire them up for the second half of this one. It would be certainly a signature win for Franklin Simpson. Not that the program has not had any in recent history, 2-time reigning Class 4A state champions, but certainly this year it would make a statement if they knocked off South Warren. They've got to dig themselves out of a 14-point deficit if they want to do so. And it begins on defense, or at least on special teams, if you want to be specific. Hollingsworth bombs away, and we're underway in half number 2. Franklin Simpson and South Warren. This one's caught at the 5. Spartans on the move on the way back. A lot of space to operate here. Getting his way up to the 45 and to the 46-yard line. A little bit of a late tackle, but an excellent run back. And who else but the kicker himself, Eldar Tervasevich, running that thing back from the 5 all the way up to the 45. He can do it all. We talked about in the first half, and he converted a fake punt run back in week 1 against Butler. Now he's doing it in the kick return game, 40 yards on that return, and it's great field position for South Warren as the Spartans set up from the right hash of their own 45-yard line, and Caden Veltkamp goes back to work. He's got Kobe Martin to his left, single back, and he'll hand it off to him here around the 40, around the 45, and spinning the wheels across midfield to the 48 of Franklin Simpson. That's a gain of 7, 2nd and 3 coming up. Manageable, and opens up the playbook for the Spartans. Kobe Martin already with 2 touchdowns tonight. One of 48 yards, one of 2 yards, the latter of which capped off that first half ending drive. Just 32 seconds remained in the quarter by the time he reached pay dirt. Once again going with 2 receivers each side. Now Martin sets up to Veldkamp's right. Takes a snap out of the gun. Handoff straight away to Martin. This time it's brought down in the backfield as Connor Rogers Gets in there and takes him down. They're going to give him forward progress close to the original line of scrimmage. It should be 3rd down and 4 upcoming. So they've got to get just past the 35. 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, depending on the way you look at it. Nonetheless, a quick 3rd down forced by Franklin Simpson. Can the Wildcats get off the field here? Or is this 4-down territory? I wouldn't be surprised if that's what Brandon Smith chooses. But he wants the 1st down here. Play fake out to the left side. Veldkamp has his man across the middle, but he's not going to get the 1st down. As Carson Hickman brings it down. Check that, Nathan Neal on the reception, his first of the night. He got about 1.5 yards out of that, and indeed Brandon Smith keeps the offense on the field. Spartans need 2 yards. Big play in this one for Franklin Simpson. Leonard Hopkins checks in. He's in the backfield. And he takes the handoff. Hopkins trying to get to the left side. He won't get there. And Franklin Simpson stops the South Warren offense for the first time. Justin Todd in on the tackle. Jakota Warfield getting in there as well. And now the Wildcats have a chance to turn a turnover on downs into points. Brandon Smith went with Leonard Hopkins rather than Kobe Martin on that play, perhaps to lure the Wildcats into thinking they were going to the air, maybe a smoke route or something. Instead, they go to Hopkins, who's certainly more than capable, don't get me wrong. Just not the bell cow back. This one's a plunge up the gut. 3 yards from Partinger to the 48. And just beyond one of the swords crossing over the Spartan helmet. Dakota Lambriano in on the tackle. They only gave him 2 yards on that. Thought they were going to give him 3. But to the 48. Richardson weaves his way through some traffic by his own backs. Now looks upfield. This one's dropped. And Malik Carter knew it. I don't know if he would have had the 1st down as he was going to the ground, but he would have been close if he's able to make that catch. And that one certainly needs to, as that went right through the wickets. So it's 3rd down and long for the Wildcats. They've converted a few of those tonight. As Brandon Fisher checks in. With an extra receiver on this set. Richardson not afraid to air it out. He's had some solid decision making with where he's gone with the football. See what he does here. Pass all the way. Pump fake. Now going deep. This one going into no one in particular except for someone with a black jersey. As it's Connor Mason who brings it down for South Warren for the interception. The senior makes the pick. And Franklin Simpson is unable to convert on forcing the turnover on downs. First turnover truly of the night. But a pick from Luke Richardson as the pass skied on him. He was looking for Leandre Stutzman but missed him by nearly double-digit yards. And so the Spartans offense back to work. And the other sophomore quarterback who also wears number 3, Caden Veldkamp. They'll start this drive from their own 20. The equivalent of a touchback had Franklin Simpson had to punt. Handoff, Martin, flag on the play. He's got the 1st down and a lot more, almost to the 40, but this might be coming back. Flag back in the backfield. It's either a hold or a hands to the face. Pretty much the only 2 things you see at that particular area. Maybe a chop block. Holding is the call against South Warren. Will back the Spartans up 10 yards to their 10. 1st and 20 upcoming. And this is the home opener for South Warren after playing a couple neutral site games just up the road at WKU to open up this season. Franklin Simpson making its first trek away from Franklin this year. They opened with 2 losses on home turf, not something the fans in Franklin have become accustomed to. They had won 40 of 45 games over the last 3 seasons and a pair of state titles to go along with it. And now they've got the Spartans pinned deep, 9:18 to go in the third. Out of the gun, Veltkamp looking right side for Avron Bell. He slips a tackle and he's got speed and a whole lot of space in front of him. A foot race. Tedrick Partinger trying to chase him down, but he gives up. Avron Bell taking this to the house. Touchdown, South Warren Spartans. 90 yards from Caden Veltkamp to Avron Bell. So how about that? We talked about how South Warren engineered a 90-yard drive to close out the first half for a score. This time they just need one play to do it. Following the holding on first down, Veltkamp to Bell, that's all it took. And Elder Dervisevich makes it a 35-14 game. Avron Bell, one of the leading receivers coming into the season. Those stats will coming into this night on the season. And those stats are only getting padded. 3rd touchdown pass of the night for Caden Veltkamp, all to different receivers. And it's a 3-touchdown game. And with that, we'd like to thank one of our sponsors, Lawton Insurance. Today, Lawton Insurance has provided thousands of Kentuckians with affordable insurance coverage and unparalleled customer service. Whether your needs are simple or complex, individual or commercial, Lawton Insurance is dedicated to providing you with the appropriate insurance solution at an affordable price while forming with you a relationship built on trust and confidence that is sure to stand the test of time. Contact us today to find out how we can serve your insurance needs. Lawton Insurance, 270-282-2411. Dervisevich to kick this one away for South Warren. Leandre Stutzman back deep alongside Omar Harrison to return this one. And it trickles just inside the pylon. Not a kickoff out of bounds. Instead, it's just a simple touchback. And Franklin Simpson will go back to work from the 20. .28 unanswered from South Warren, who trailed 14-7 after 1. And again, South Warren last week trailed by 3 at the end of the first quarter, but put up 41 points in the second. They put up 21 in the second tonight, another 7 now in the third. And with 9:02 to go in this third quarter, they lead it by 21. Back under center, Luke Richardson for Franklin Simpson. Off to the outside, nothing going on here. Put that truck in reverse. Getting into the backfield, Luke Burton, as well as Jake Jackson. And that's a 5-yard loss. Some of that forward progress, I think that could have been even worse for Franklin Simpson than a 5-yard loss. 2nd and 15 now. And now will South Warren be able to clamp down defensively? Got an interception their last time out as a defense. Well, that's what they've done in each of the first 2 games this season. Once they've established control, then the defense takes over from there. And that's another interception. And they've got a chance to take this thing back. Do they? Just out of bounds before the end zone. And it's back-to-back picks for the South Warren D. And it's Tyler Snell who hauls it in, his first interception of the year in his sophomore campaign. And took it back all the way to the 6. And now the Spartans are looking to strike again. Defense forced north of 30 turnovers last year. And when they get short fields, the offense can make some quick work of opponents. Veldkamp running out of space and time. Tries to use his legs to get there, and he'll get perhaps inside the 5. Couple yards on 1st and goal. Let's see where they spot this. Just inside the 5, so got about 1.5 yards. 2nd and goal from there. 8:04 remains here in the 3rd quarter. Back off to the right. This one blown dead. That's offside against Franklin Simpson. Will make South Warren's task even easier. Half the distance to the goal on this one will take him to about the 2. It will remain 2nd and goal. Play action. Floater is dropped. And that's some solid coverage as well. As Chase Gooch got in there and made life a little bit more difficult on the receiver. Gooch, one of the more versatile weapons on defense for Franklin Simpson. Somewhat of a strong safety, somewhat of an outside linebacker, does it all. And although we haven't seen it tonight, he can also run on the offensive side. Play action again. Veldkamp quick slant to the outside. Would have been good if it was caught, but it skipped off the turf. And so South Warren, 2nd and goal from the 2, unable to cash in on 2nd or 3rd down. And we'll see what they decide to do here. Again, I'd be surprised if they kick a field goal here. Converted on a 4th and 1 from the 2 with a 2-yard run by Kobe Martin at the end of the 1st half. See what the call here is. He's got Leonard Hopkins to his left this time. Another dead ball foul. That's a false start. It'll back South Warren up. And now, if you're Brandon Smith, do you still target the end zone or you just send out the field goal unit? Well, whatever you do, you're not happy about it, and you can see the coaches for South Warren expressing said displeasure. And they will indeed opt for the field goal now rather than the 4th and goal from the 7. So a 25-yard attempt here for Dervisevich, 1 of 2 on field goals so far this year. This one's blocked. Now where could this be returned? Not quite. And Franklin Simpson keeps the Spartans off the board. Might have had a chance to pick that up and go, but couldn't keep his feet nonetheless. The Wildcats will take it as the Spartans come away empty-handed. And now if you're Franklin Simpson, you've really got to turn this into points the other way. Try to make the Spartans pay when they had 2nd and goal at the 2 and came away empty-handed. If I'm Doug Preston, I'm calling for some kind of shot here. I'm looking for Richardson to go deep to Leandre Stutzman. We've seen them try that a few times tonight. Now, admittedly, the last time they tried it, Richardson overthrew him by 10 yards and got picked by Connor Mason, but still. Stutzman back in the wingback spot. In motion goes Brandon Fisher. Richardson is looking deep. He does take a shot, and it's wide open, right on cue. There goes Stutzman across the 40 to the 35, and he's chased down inside the South Warren 30. I take no credit, but I will say Doug Preston with an excellent play call there, going to Leo Stutzman around the outside. And I think that would have been a touchdown had Richardson led him a little bit. He had to turn back to get it, and that slowed him down enough to be chased down by a pair of Spartans, but still a huge gain on 1st down for Franklin Simpson to flip the field and get it to the 25. Now at that point, you can go back up the gut. Again, you keep the defense at bay. They go straight out of the I formation, and again they do. Go up the middle, but it's a fumble. Who comes up with this? South Warren had a couple of arms signaling their way, but the official came in holding the 2 fingers up for second down. And Franklin Simpson avoids disaster and managed to procure 4 yards of positive gain out of it as well. Chase Gooch that time. We mentioned just a moment ago that he can do it offensively. There you go. Back out of the I. Here's Malik Carter in the backfield. Richardson keeps it. Looks to tuck. And he's got a whole lot of Spartans in his throat. Jake Jackson in there. Ethan Hildreth, I think, will get credited for the tackle for loss. His 3rd of the year. And it backs him up 4 yards. 3rd down and 9 coming up for Franklin Simpson. Make it 3rd and 8. Backs him up a couple of yards. Setting up at the South Warren 23. 6:15 and counting to go in the 3rd quarter. Wildcats fresh off of blocking a South Warren field goal. Lobbing it down the field. But now a timeout is called. Franklin Simpson uses its first. Here are the second half. I want to take this moment to thank another of our sponsors, Mid-South Lumber and Supply, professional building materials and services. We have everything you'll need for any project and size. Windows, doors, paint and design center, lumber, roofing, shingles, molding and trim insulation, siding and gutters, electrical and plumbing, providing superior service and quality products since 1962, delivered when and where you need them. Mid-South Lumber and Supply, we're more than wood. These are the kind of moments that Franklin Simpson could really use to get their season back in gear. Again, 2 upset defeats on home turf to start the season against teams they handled last year, and now coming against a retooled, revamped, and still full-powered South Warren team. And although they're trailing by 21, Franklin Simpson, again, was up 14-7 in this game at one point, and they've gotten a couple of defensive stands here in the second half. A big play on offense to get them down the field. Now they face 3rd and 8. What do the Wildcats have? They would love to get points out of this possession. Richardson rolls out to his right. Stutzman cutting on the out route. The throw is high and behind him. Would have been good for a first down if it was on target. However, it was not. And it brings up 4th and long.
Richardson's pass was intended for Leandre Stutzman.
No doubt Stutzman's his number 1 target. Out wide. Only had 40 yards on the season coming into this one. But he's somebody who gets a lot of work both in a backfield and out wide. They exceeded 40 yards on that last big gain. And now the Wildcats will essentially have to go out for this. Cole Hollingsworth has never attempted a field goal, but a field goal really doesn't accomplish what the Wildcats want here anyway. 4th down and 8 from the 23. The rollout to the left. Richardson running out of space. Flings one. That got tipped at the line. No flags on the field, and this one is a turnover on downs. Luke Burton with his hands to it, the middle linebacker, and one of the leaders of this defense. And that will do it for that Franklin Simpson opportunity. 5:56 to go in the 3rd. And South Warren will go back to work as the Spartans' defense has held not once but twice after Franklin Simpson finally got off the field on defense on its own end. Once with a turnover on downs forced, once on a blocked field goal, but South Warren able to turn those into nothing for the Wildcats offense with an interception and another turnover on downs. This one up the middle as they go back to the ground, chance to milk some clock, and a big-time tackle. Tedrick Partinger laid the lumber. It still was 9 yards up the field, so South Warren will take it, but it fired up Partinger a little bit. 5:48 and counting to go here in the 3rd. And now it's raining here at the South Warren Athletic Complex to add further intrigue to this one. Did not see that in the forecast for tonight. But then again, in Soki, you never really know what the weather's going to bring. Quick out, Tomi Mustafa there. Literally slid off a defender. He was nearly wrapped up, and fingers of Ben Campbell just kind of went down him. And he got 2 more yards out of that. 2nd and 1 upcoming again. Once again, Martin to Veldkamp's left. Got 3 receivers out wide. Avron Bell the furthest of them. But they'll go with the handoff. Martin cuts back across midfield. First down up to the Franklin Simpson 47. Late fumble, but he got back on top of it. That's good for 10. So Martin continues to churn it up tonight. Rushed for 179 yards in the opener, just 28 last week, but he's had triple digits this evening. Not sure of the exact total, including a 48-yard touchdown and 2 strikes overall. But he gets a rest on this one. It's Leonard Hopkins in the backfield. Play action. Veldkamp. That one is dropped, and perhaps that's the slippery ball added by the rain, as Carson Hickman was unable to haul that in. That's a route that South Warren has enjoyed a lot tonight, the inside slant. Been able to complete passes pretty much at will, 7 or 8 yards upfield, and at worst case, you're setting yourself up with a short yardage situation on a completion, if not some yards after catching a full first down. But that one dropped, and so it's a 2nd and 10 here. Veldkamp once again looking for a similar route. This time Mustafa cutting toward the sideline. Now he cuts back, trying to accelerate, and he's across the 25 before being brought down shy of the 20. But another big play and a South Warren first down. That's a McDonald's first down, in fact, as the Spartans advance it up to the 27 of Franklin Simpson. I'll go straight up the gut, nearly losing his feet, but getting him right back is Martin. Down to about the 14-yard line. And now official timeout is called as we have a Wildcat down, albeit only briefly. Connor Rogers shaken up for a moment. Once again, we would like to thank Wendy's for their sponsorship. Wendy's is a proud sponsor of high school athletes. For more information about the Wendy's High School Heisman program, go to wendyshighschoolheisman.com and check out the class of 2018. Good luck to all area teams, and don't forget to stop by Wendy's of Bowling Green, Franklin, and Glasgow to enjoy a filling 4 for $4 meal deal. Fresh set of downs for South Warren as the ball is spotted inside the 15 at about the 12. Another handoff. Martin plugged up at the line. Couple of Wildcats greeting him there. Atticus Allen involved on that tackle. As we tick down to almost 3 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Leonard Hopkins back into the left of Caden Veldkamp. And another pre-snap penalty. It's a false start against South Warren. That's what killed the Spartans their last time out offensively, as they had a 2nd and goal at the 2. Couldn't get in. 3rd and goal from the 2. Had a also could not get in. Then had a false start on fourth down, put the field goal unit out, and Franklin Simpson blocked the attempt. And Brennan Smith said that the penalties really hurt the Spartans in getting off to the start they wanted against Warren East last week. He said they had a lot of silly mistakes, looked younger and more immature than they did even in their opener against Butler out of Class 6A. That disappointed him, but the 41-point second quarter outburst certainly did not. And Veldkamp with another miscue as he juggles it. He gets back on top of it, however, but once again, the Spartans are going backward, all the way back to the 20. And it's going to be a third down and about 18. Certainly they will attempt the field goal if they don't get the first down here, which is nearly at the end zone. Veldkamp looking upfield, curling toward the pylon. This is caught, and he's out at the 1. First and goal coming up. And it's Jason Putman who's got a touchdown tonight. Almost had another one. Instead, he picks up the first down on 3rd and 18. He gained 19. And it's first and goal from just outside the promised land for the home team. Under 2 minutes to go in the third. Veldkamp has Kobe Martin behind him. Check that. Luke Burton out of the Wildcat forces his way through. And that's a touchdown. Luke Burton with his 3rd touchdown of the season. The middle linebacker for the Spartans often comes in goal line situations like that as a fullback. He's gotten now 2 on the ground. He has 1 through the air also. And you hear the chants of "This is Sparta" ringing out from the South Warren student section far side. This game was 14-7. We got a swinging gate on the extra point into a 2-point conversion attempt. That looked like what the Oregon Ducks used to do all the time. It was read thoroughly by Franklin Simpson. And so the first time a conversion does not go in favor of South Warren this evening. But the Spartans trailed 14-7 at one point. It is all Spartans now, 41-14. They're reversing the digits of Franklin Simpson. And I do think Black Betty is an appropriate theme for the black and white here at South Warren. Great stadium anthem in general, but especially appropriate here, if I do say so myself. 34 unanswered for South Warren. Franklin Simpson trying to provide its own response. But Leo Stutzman's going to get no further than the 20 on the return. A late flag is thrown well behind the play. Perhaps some extracurricular activity. And Chase Gooch is emphatically pointing his way at the South Warren defense, as if to suggest the penalty is against them. Let's see if it is. Yeah, and it is a personal foul against South Warren, so Gooch proves correct in his assessment of the situation, and his team will begin at its own 35. Malik Carter, the fullback. Omar Harrison, the wingback. They go with Carter on the dive. He got some good push from some linemen behind him, and worked his way for about 4 yards on first down. And Carter a bit slow to get up. 1:23 remains here in the third quarter. 41-14 South Warren. And we'll be right back. Brett Williams back with you on the Sporting Times Broadcast Network. Late third quarter, 107 and counting remaining in this frame between South Warren and Franklin Simpson. It's the Spartans' defense up to the task again, wrecking the Franklin Simpson backfield as Jay Scooch was lit up by Tyler Snell. The Wildcats scored on their first two possessions of the night and have yet to strike since. They've had a couple of long plays, couple of long drives that have resulted in some combination of punts, interceptions, or turnovers on downs. And South Warren's defense and offense have gotten into a nice rhythm. On the rollout, Luke Richardson comes up well short. And I think that had something to do with the pressure that was being provided in the backfield, as Luke Burton, who just had the last touchdown run from 2 yards out, going back to his natural habitat on defense and wreaking havoc. 18 seconds left in the third quarter. Fourth down and long for Franklin Simpson, and Cole Hollingsworth is on to punt it away. And Jansen Dunn is back deep for South Warren. Posting up. They're going to take him off the field, as there was some confusion for South Warren as to who exactly was going to return that kick. Elder Dervisevich in the backfield, or back deep as well. But now the flag's being picked up, evidently. Oh, no, that flag was an enforced penalty of 12 men against South Warren. So now it's 4th and 4. Still at their own 41. Not really a favorable situation for Franklin Simpson, but they do need points. Let's see. It'll have to be a fake at this point. And it's not. Hollingsworth, that's a wobbler. And that takes an unfortunate bounce for Franklin Simpson out of bounds to the South Warren side at the Spartans 43. South Warren with, once again, strong field position here to begin another second half possession. Just 11 seconds left in the third quarter. We will most likely see a run, I would think, on first down. South Warren now can really get to the ground and try to run this game out. And with it, that would be the last play of the quarter. And another pre-snap penalty. False start against South Warren. That is going to drive Brandon Smith nuts. I'm sure that will be an emphasis in practice here for the Spartans as they prepare to take on Warren Central. Boy, has Warren Central been an interesting story, and don't have a scoreboard update for you yet from Central's home game tonight against Bowling Green. If we do have one, we'll get to that in a bit. And we'll get back to that story in the fourth quarter. As the third quarter comes to an end, South Warren firmly in control of this one. It's the Spartans 41 and the Franklin Simpson Wildcats 14. As we begin the fourth quarter here from South Warren, it's 41-14. The host Spartans on top of Franklin Simpson. South Warren riding a 17-game win streak, well on their way to number 18 in a row. Second down and long. Might this be consecutive, or at least 2 out of 3 plays, false starts against the Spartans? They will need to clean that up if they want to contend in 5A again. Spartans were picked 4th in the preseason polls in Class 5A after winning it last season. Had 4 first-place votes, but the biggest problem for the Spartans, not only with all of their losses, despite how good this team is, so many key pieces lost from last year, and the losses for them, the additions for the class. Scott County, the reigning 6A runners-up who return 11 starters, got sent down to 5A. Of course, that's just a factor of size of the school population, not a matter of demotion, as Kobe Martin takes this handoff and gets a couple of yards out of it. Got back actually to the line of scrimmage, or perhaps a yard beyond that. So 3rd and very long coming up for South Warren. So Scott County's part of 5A this year. Covington Catholic, the team that South Warren has met up with a number of times here in previous postseason play, including last year's championship game, is back. And then there's Frederick Douglass, another former 6A school that's done quite well up there and has a number of big-time NCAA Division I commits on its roster. So uphill battle for South Warren in that regard, though the Spartans have still proven themselves to be among the class of the class in the early goings. What have we here? That's the 3rd false start penalty against the Spartans this drive. It doesn't hurt you so much when you're up 41-14, but it will come back to bite you at some point, inevitably. But I tell you one thing, Brandon Smith has certainly not tolerated anything other than the best in his time here. And as a result of that, his teams have gone a ridiculous 65-8 in 5 years and change with him at the helm. Sweep out to the right side, cutting back and getting nowhere, Kobe Martin. As he is swallowed up by Jakota Warfield and company. So Franklin Simpson's defense gets off the field. Leandre Stutzman back just inside his own territory to take this. That's the first punt of the night, amazingly, for South Warren. All their possessions have resulted in touchdowns except 1 turnover on downs and 1 blocked field goal. I think Franklin jumped. Of course, 5 yards will make no difference here. But it does create a little bit more space with which Elder Dervisevich can work. Ten minutes and 17 seconds remain here in the game. It's a high punt. Carries to the 45 and takes a South Warren bounce just about to the 41-yard line of Franklin Simpson. It's still pretty good field position for the Wildcats. I want to thank State Farm Insurance for their sponsorship of the Sporting Times Broadcast Network. Dependable and knowledgeable agents seek customers looking for real protection and long-term relationships. Look no further. Having one special person for your car, home, and life insurance lets you get down to business with the rest of your life. We're State Farm. It's what we do, 24/7, 365. Go to a better state. Contact an agent today. Call Jonathan McDaniel at 270-842-5556 or Ginger Cleary at 270-782-7276. There goes Stutzman in motion. He gets the pitch and dives his way into the crowd, which promptly swallows him up. Lead man on the tackle, Ethan Hildreth. Lost a couple on that. 2nd and 12 upcoming for Franklin Simpson. We talked about South Warren's preseason prediction. Franklin Simpson picked 2nd in Class 4A in the preseason poll as they try to defend their title. And they, too, have to deal with a new addition to the class that will not make life easy on them or anyone else for that matter. Richardson pulls it back, floating one into double coverage, and that's an easy pass interference call from behind. Looking for Stutzman there. Wouldn't have been a catch, but Connor Mason with the push down. And that team has a connection to South Warren. Boyle County is the new threat for Franklin Simpson. They were predicted to win 4A in the preseason poll. Went to the semifinals of Class 3A last year, were unbeaten until that game. And they've got a Notre Dame commit, a West Virginia commit on that roster, just to name a few. But the connection is Boyle County's head coach is the father of South Warren head coach Brandon Smith, Chuck Smith. So think about this. Chuck Smith and his son Brandon, both at the helm of undefeated programs last year until the Class 3A semifinals, at which Chuck's Boyle County squad finally bowed out. Brandon Smith, of course, finished the deal and won the Class 5A title unblemished here with South Warren. Richardson, pass all the way, caught by Brendan Fisher to the 40. Wrapped up immediately and tossed down by Jay Whalen. That'll be a 6-yard gain, 2nd and 4. Coming up for Franklin Simpson. But for the Wildcats, they'll have a lot of work to do to even get back to that point of true contention in 4A. Now, admittedly, they have played only teams higher than them. This is their second 5A team and one 6A team that they've faced thus far. Doesn't necessarily tell you about the relative skill of the teams, but just saying. Gavin Finch on the carry, the backup quarterback, in fact, getting involved in the running game across the 35, and that's good for a first down. But I do think Doug Preston has to be pleased with some of what he's seen tonight. Certainly the way Franklin Simpson started. I think this team was very much mentally prepared for what they were going into tonight. It's ultimately just been an outclassing as the game's gone on. Offensively and defensively, South Warren just superior as they seemingly are to every opponent every single year. Just feels that way. Richardson rolling out, floats one for Stutzman. That was nowhere close. As Hildreth once again getting in the backfield, he made Richardson feel that one. Planted his helmet right on the Spartan helmet. 8 minutes, 2 seconds left in this Week 3 contest. Before South Warren hosts Warren Central, and Franklin Simpson heads down to Franklin, Tennessee to take on Battleground Academy. Battle of the two Franklins. And again, Warren Central playing Bowling Green right now as Franklin Simpson breaks the huddle quickly. Got Carter in the backfield and evidently went too quick, and false started. And of course, Warren Central hasn't won a game in a long time, several years. 35 games, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 37 now. And yet the Dragons' newfound energy around that program, coach with a lot of collegiate experience in Kerry Fowler, has put up a lot of points in each of the first 2 weeks of this season. The offense, very much there. The defense, not so much. Lost 66-56 in week 1, and I believe was 58-42 in game number 2. And they're next up on South Warren's docket. Richardson in trouble. Throws it away, and that was in the general vicinity of a receiver, so no intentional grounding the called. Franklin Simpson Wildcat cheerleaders are getting the fans here to chant, although the fans didn't really seem to be responding to it too much. Got to change it up. I don't blame him. Looking to his right, Richardson in all kinds of trouble, throws it incomplete. South Warren thought it was a fumble. But I think, I don't know, I'm not sure how that's, if it's not a fumble, it's intentional grounding as he just kind of threw it to no one just in the ground. Unless they say that his arm was coming forward, being forced forward, and thus it's a forward motion, but apparently an incomplete pass is the call. And it's 4th down and 15 for Franklin Simpson from the 39. Down by a whole lot. They will go for it, as you might expect. Richardson rolls, completes, turning upfield. Omar Harrison, does he have enough? He does not. Came up about 2 yards short, got 13 on a 4th and 15. But that won't do. 7:23 to go. South Warren takes over. And we will take this opportunity to thank McDonald's once again for their sponsorship. The Burrell journey into McDonald's began in 1974 with the opening of their first restaurant in Franklin, Kentucky. Paul Burrell, a second-generation owner-operator, began the family business with his father, Jim Burrell. From that one store, other siblings joined the business and have branched off into their own areas throughout Kentucky and Tennessee. The Burrells have always looked at their business as a people business first and a hamburger business second. The Burrells are also heavily involved in the communities where they work and live. They are proud supporters of many charities, athletic, and academic programs. Additionally, they are passionate about helping out the Nashville Ronald McDonald House, which serves as a home away from home for many families from southern Kentucky each year. Visit one of the many area McDonald's locations today. McDonald's. I'm loving it. As South Warren takes it back over, leading by 27. And Franklin Simpson uses its second timeout on the spot. And we'll take this opportunity to give you a scoreboard update, as now we have a final from Warren Central. Tonight the offense was not there for the Dragons. In fact, not at all. No points. Dragons shut out by the Bowling Green Purples 56-0. So still having a lot of trouble getting the defense up to snuff. And really didn't play the best defensive teams in the first 2 games. That's not to take away from what they did. Just to put it in perspective, Bowling Green, a very solid team. Of course, the arch rivals of South Warren, and they'll face off right here later this year in Week 7. But we'll see. I have good faith in what Kerry Fowler is going to do with the Warren Central program. Going to be another tough task for them coming into this building next week. But we shall see. Final 7:23 of this one. On the handoff. Cutting back to the left. Still finding ways to serpentine through the line. That's... It was Gavin Graw on the carry. First time tonight. Graw, the second leading rusher coming into tonight, as he had a lot of carries last week. It is still Caden Veltkamp back there. Tall 6'5" frame, can't miss him. Got Graw once again to his left. Gives it to him once more. Graw using that stiff arm to free himself to the left, but didn't do him much good in the long term. As Chase Gooch and Jakota Warfield combine for the stop. Another Wildcat shaking up near side. That, let's see if we can identify who that is. We will go ahead and step aside as they tend to the down Wildcat. 41-14, South Warren in the 4th. Connor Rogers, the injured Wildcat, though he did get up and come off the field and not even being attended to right now, just getting a drink. That's a good sign. 6 minutes remain in this one. South Warren up by 27 and running the football. Looks like enough for a first down. Leonard Hopkins moving the chains. Hopkins will stay in there to the left of Veldkamp. Putman and Willingham lined up to the left, out wide. They give to Hopkins again. Second effort. Keeps on pushing. And he gets close to another first down. Maybe he has enough. I believe he does. First down Spartans, 10 yards for Hopkins as he pushes his way to the 36. South Warren's had to rely differently on passing and running through its first 2 weeks this season against Butler. Largely controlled that game on the ground, 222 rushing yards and just 83 through the air last week. 118 ground, 268 through the air. This year, tonight rather, it's been a bit of an even split. And the South Warren offense has shown a plethora of weapons. Virtually everyone they can throw out there has contributed in some way. Seen Hickman, Willingham, Bell, Dunn, Putman, Mustafa, and the Pham all make catches. Luke Burton, Kobe Martin, Leonard Hopkins, Gavin Graw have all carried the football at one point tonight. And again, the defense has not conceded since the first quarter. So no Gavin Spurrier, no Cameron Harrison, no Glayton Bush on defense, no Jacob Lacey at all, and still the same South Warren. Unbelievable stuff from Brandon Smith as his team has come out of the gates just as it finished as state champions a year ago. This one a give up the middle. And a big gang tackle finally brings Gavin Graw to the turf. We tick down under 4 minutes to go in this one. Third down and about 1.5 from the 45. Franklin Simpson's down to just one timeout. Not that they would probably take any more for the purpose of saving clock at this point, but South Warren's about one first down for putting this game on ice officially. And to try to get this done, Veldkamp hands off. Hopkins makes a curve and pushes his way to the helmet and a first down. 3:19 and counting, and South Warren can take all the time it wants to and try to get this game over and done with and send the fans home happy, as they've left WKU happy twice already this season now. They get to make the triumphant walk out of their own stadium. Been a great crowd on hand, both teams showing up. And we look forward to a whole lot more of these throughout the year. Veldkamp gives to Hopkins again. Surges up the middle. Over the 45. He might get another first down for good measure. Slammed down right at the sticks. They're going to move the chains as Hopkins padding his stats and showing his mettle as this game's gone on. So South Warren changes up some personnel and gets ready to finish this thing out. They're going to improve to 66-8 through 5 years and 3 games under Brandon Smith. Going to win number 18 in a row. Still haven't lost since November of 17. Yet another first down, another double-digit run. This time from Gavin Graw. And 3-0 on the year for South Warren. Ready to host Warren Central. Now the Spartans, after that game against the Dragons, will go on the road for 4 of the next 5. And we'll also have a bye week in there, so won't see this field for a long time, but they do play their finale at home. Franklin Simpson, as previously mentioned, off to Battleground Academy in Franklin, Tennessee. And they will play 3 of their next 4 also on the road overall. And that includes their beginning of district play, week 6 at Allen County, Scottsville. The opening date. Victory formation. Veltkamp takes a knee, and they'll need to take at least one more snap with 90 seconds and counting to go in this one. Caden Veltkamp, brilliant again. I can think of really just one pass tonight that he truly missed on. Again, came in with a 63% completion percentage on the season. I believe that's going to at least hold, if not go higher, as a result of his performance tonight. 4 seconds on the play clock, 58 on the game clock. And looks like one more.